Hey guys, it's Alisa, and today we will be covering the topic about tips and tricks moving into Norway, or something you need to know when you already moved. What's Norway? Norway is constitutional monarchy, and it's famous for two things: fjords and Vikings. Norway is divided into 16 different regions, but this groupings is approximate. You can see the regions on the screen now. And the division is based on both geographical and dialectal reasons, and this is the topic we are going to talk about next: language and dialects. While Norway has two written standards, nynorsk and bokmål is more standard, and this is what you learn in schools, there is no spoken standard. So there are so many dialects there. I believe it's 4 different groups, which has sub-branches and branches based on city or the region. So for many Norwegian language learners, it's a nightmare. I believe the advice here will be to start listening for different dialects as soon as you start learning Norwegian. And then what to do and how to learn Norwegian. There are 3 ways to learn any language, and Norwegian in general. When it comes to Norwegian, there are free courses that are provided by government. They are not for everyone. It depends on your status as an immigrant in Norway. You either has a right for free courses or not. You will have to research a little bit more about your status in Norway and do you have a right, but there are certain categories which this rule applies for. Okay, who has a right for free courses? Refugees, people with family reunification, who are married to Norwegian or Nordic citizens, or to permanent card holders. If you are between 55 and 67, you're also eligible for free courses. I will provide into the description of this video about it. You can learn a bit more. The link will be based on Oslo city, and if you are a resident of Oslo, it will be useful for you. But I believe the regulation is also can be applied for other regions. The next way to learn Norwegian is, of course, paid courses. There are 2 schools that I know and I've heard recommendations for, Alfaskolen and Speak Norsk. I have never attended their courses, and so it's not sponsored, but I've heard many good things and reviews about these schools. Let me know if you know any other schools that you really like or attended, and why. And then the last but not least, study by yourself for free. But before we are going to this topic, I would like to ask you to like, subscribe and comment on this video. It will really help me to be motivated and research different topics for you. So, coming back to study by yourself, what do I mean? Of course, in internet there are many different resources. There are free books, there are YouTube, of course, and other different websites that you can use to study. And when can you use it? I believe it is quite possible to get from total beginner to a beginner by yourself without a teacher, just using those resources. And after you learn the basics, some basic words to ask questions on the street, food, and etc., you can go to school and continue studying in school, skipping some big part of it and not paying for that. What book do I recommend? When it comes to books in Norway, it's very expensive. So first thing they can do is actually go to the local library. They have plenty of books, both digitally and paper. Can become a member very easily. Let me know if you want to know how to become a member of any library. It could be Oslo Library or your region library. Maybe I can make a separate video about it. So the book I would recommend called Norsk på 1, 2, 3. Why do I recommend it? Because it's half in English, and I believe Norwegian academic books lacks books in English or any other language. I believe it's a part of educational idea or vision here in Norway that you need to learn Norwegian on Norwegian, which is, for my opinion, can be really stressful, and it's not for everyone. For me personally, when I just started my journey learning Norwegian, I actually had Russian tutors to help me to explain grammar and also to give me ideas why grammar works like this in this language. Generally speaking, I believe there are many books, both in libraries or internet, you can find that can be useful for you personally. I do have my personal private digital library where I have different books, so let me know if you would like to know more about them, and maybe I can give you access, or I can just let you know what kind of books do I have. Next thing I can recommend is this website. It's called Norwegian Class 101. It's not free, but they do provide A0 level as a free access, and I believe there you can cover many topics as a beginner. I really love talking about languages, but I need to go to another topic. Before that, I need to give you a little bit of a disclaimer that even though I told you that it's fine to start learning language by yourself, I believe it's always up to a certain point when after that you cannot do it by yourself. You need a teacher or a private course or anything to help you to correct your pronunciation and speaking. Anyways, let's go to the next one. Okay, what do you need 100% in Norway? You may say bank card, which is not totally wrong, but I would say bank ID. It's basically your digital identification in the country. It is more important because you will be able to access different governmental organizations via internet and basically log in on their sites with bank ID. Your bank will issue one for you, but you need to remember to mention that you need one, because I've heard many stories that some people got bank card without bank ID. Bummer. As before, during your life in Norway, you will need to have access to different governmental organizations. So I will list those organizations for you now and give also websites in the description. I will put here, it's a tax administration, and of course this is where you will have to count on your taxes, put the taxes, and make sure you have the right number to pay the taxes. But not only for that, because the part of this website is called National Population Register, where you can find the information about moving in, moving out, putting your address, which is very important, also information about marriage and etc. So I will suggest you to research it, and once you will get your bank ID, the life will show in brighter colors, because then you will be able to register in Digipost. This is the website where you can assign all your paper letters to come digitally, which means that you don't have to worry it will get lost, damaged, and etc. It will be there in Digipost. Another website that I think will be used by all people who will move to Norway, it's Helse Norge. It's a website about health, going to a doctor, getting an appointment from a doctor, general information, where do you get any health services or help. So it's also accessible with bank ID. I also know you can make an appointment to a doctor through this website, but there is an exception which I will not talk about in this video. Let me know if you are interested in health topic in general. Plenty of information about health services, and even though it's not urgently for you now, it's very important for you to learn what in Norway they provide for free, for example. So remember that if you have a medicine that you take daily, and in your country you could get this medicine just simply going into the pharmacy, most likely here in Norway it is prescription based, so make sure you have an appointment with a doctor a little bit earlier before your medicine is gone. This is also a tip to you to not stress too much in a new country. I might finish here just because I believe I talked a lot, and for a newcomer it can be quite a lot to remember. Let me know what topics you are interested in, and also please comment which region in Norway are you living in. I'm gonna be really curious and maybe research a little bit specifically about your region and talk about it next video. I will continue this as a series, and so please let me know what are you interested in, everything that can be put in this survival guide in Norway. Yeah, thank you very much and hope to see you again. Bye!